Hey man, welcome back to another episode of Auburn All the Time, double A, double T. Hey, look, man, we so glad that y'all joining us again. Listen, we would ask for you to like, share, comment. We do, read your comments and we respect that, man. And we just overall, man, we just appreciate y'all tuning in to two average dudes just talking about Auburn. Not only football, but like I said, it's Auburn all the time. So we try to cover everything. But hey, this is football season, and man, look, week one is here.
Finally here.
I mean, week one is here. I'm your boy Rod, and this is my homeboy, man, my one and only Mr. Auburn football himself, Bruce Howard, man. So hey, man, let's just go ahead and get into it. Like we promised y'all last episode. We told y'all we'd talk about some of the roster situations. One of the biggest questions that has been answered was the quarterback position. And so Peyton Thorne is the starting quarterback for game one. And so what we'll do tonight, man, we'll talk a little bit about kind of dabble in each position or whatever. I got a few questions I want to ask you, Bruce, as we go along. And then we'll actually look at what we got ahead of us week one for this Saturday with UMass coming into town, and so we'll get it started, man. So how are you feeling about Peyton Thorne being the starter for game one?
Not surprised. I mean, I figure
Right.
you going with a guy that's the most experienced and probably picked up the offense faster than the other two guys, but. Yeah, just going with a veteran quarterback. I mean, I would say it's his job for now, and he's going to have to perform well to keep it because I feel like Ashford has really improved, and Garner too, but more so Ashford. So, but I feel good about it. I mean, I just think that for what Freeze was looking for, you don't go out and get a transfer quarterback like that. He left a comfortable situation to come to Auburn and ride the bench. So I feel good about it, man. I look for him to go out here this first game and establish himself and show y'all or show the world what he's really about. Finally playing, probably I would say from a supporting cast standpoint, this is the best supporting cast he's probably had probably since 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably even better from top to bottom. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from actually. So I feel good about it.
Yeah. Well, personally, I feel like it was the right decision.
Right.
The best decision. And just to piggyback off what you said, this is just game one.
Right.
He's the starter for game one,
Right.
and I do expect him to, like you said, establish himself as a leader. I think that was one of the main contributing factors of him getting the nod
Right.
to start. So with the leadership abilities and the veteran capabilities and all that stuff tying in, like I said, I am not surprised, and I feel good about the decision that has been made to make Peyton Thorne the starter for game one. So really not much to discuss on that. We'll see what happens Saturday. But moving right along, I got a question for you, and we're gonna go through basically position by position, but we'll go through it quick. We won't dwell on it so long, and it's gonna kind of center around this question that I got you. And mind you, we haven't discussed any of this, so I'm kind of putting my boy on the spot because I know he's gonna perform anyway. But what I want to ask you, Bruce, is that aside from the transfer portal, position by position, who do you think? And it doesn't necessarily have to be, it can be a collective group of players,
Right.
but who, position by position, and I'll give you the positions as we go along. Who do you think is going to be more important or most important at that position to this team this year outside of the transfer portal? Because we know we got Peyton Thorne, we got the guy from App State, the defensive lineman, those type of guys. We're looking for them to do certain things, but outside of the transfer portal, the guys that remain on this team, and we'll start with running back, and I think it's an obvious choice for
Right.
running back, but we'll just go since we looked at the quarterback position. we've already talked about the quarterback position, but running back. Well, I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but you go ahead. I want to hear your take.
I would say the most, probably I would say you're right, running back, Hunter, Batee, Austin, Jeremiah Cobb. But I like the secondary. The secondary's got a lot of experience.
Let's go. We're gonna go position by position.
Okay.
So I want you to, you said Jarquez Hunter.
Right.
And I'll give you mine.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you had that in a specific order.
Right.
But I see Hunter, Austin,
Right.
and Batee,
Right.
and I'll throw another person in there just because of what we're dealing with, especially for game one.
Right.
Maybe these first 3 games. I'll throw Ashford in there as a running back situation because, to be honest with you, if you remember, kind of the trio of running backs that we have right now,
Right.
aside from maybe throwing Cobb in there and Ashford,
Right.
it kind of reminds me of that season where we had Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, and Trey Smith.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that season? Because if you guys go back, that season, that Iron Bowl, Ronnie Brown and Cadillac was hurt, and Trey Smith still pulled off, a massive game.
Right.
Ended up giving us a win. So I think we have that level of talent this year at the running back position, outside of the transfer portal. So you giving yours at the running back position. Let's go to wide receiver and tight ends.
Okay.
We'll group them together. So
Okay.
what you think about them?
Man, that's where the transfer portal really helped us.
Exactly.
But I look at it due to the fact that I look at the guys that's still there, not the guys that's coming in from the transfer portal. I look at the guys that's still there, like Javarius Johnson,
Yes.
Corey Moore, Camden Brown, guys like that. And the reason why I say that is that I think Auburn's always had decent receivers. I'm not talking about no All-Americans or Heisman candidates. I'm just talking about the fact that they've had receivers, but they wouldn't in an offense to showcase their ability. So this is the first time in a while that I feel good just about that part of it. Of course, the transfers are going to help us out tremendously because they brought experience, size,
Right.
athleticism to that group. But I just think the overall wide receiver play, I mean, you're talking about 7 or 8 guys that's probably going to get catches, like Shane Hooks, Jair Shorter, Caleb Burton, the transfer from Ohio State.
Yes.
But the thing about it is the fact that we actually have an offense it's quarterback friendly, that can actually throw the ball to the receivers, and probably you'll see downfield shots, intermediate routes, and just simple bubble screens and stuff like just the overall concept of a passing game is being implemented. That's going to make the receivers actually look like receivers for the first time in years.
Right. So I mean, I totally agree with you. And we do have some special talent at tight end as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be amazing after everything starts to flow and gets to working and very well, and we'll see some things. Some questions will probably be answered when we start hitting the SEC schedule.
Well, I would say not even that far. I would say this game, to a certain extent, you can kind of see what we have at receiver, because you're not going to have to go out there. You're not going to go out there and just go through the motions, because UMass showed this past weekend that they got some talent, and you're gonna have to at least showcase something.
Right.
But even that, going to Cal week 2, which we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, they're good defensively, if not nothing else. So we'll see more and more the first 2-3 games what we got before we go on the road to A&M.
Yeah, and I even throw your boy just came in.
Oh, yeah. You might well say he's the third member of the team.
Yeah, we'll get him on one day. But even Batsy, catching coming out the backfield, and it just depends on he's another threat, at the receiver position, especially with the speed that he has. But moving on, what I'm gonna tell you, this group of individuals, which is another benefit of the transfer portal. The offensive line has really that's what I'm excited about, as far as offense wise, because I know what we have at the running back position. I'm hoping I know what we have at the quarterback position and as well as the receiver position. But this offensive line, which has been, there's been a lot of rave about them. So I'm really really looking forward to seeing them perform. And it's comprised of mostly transfer portal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we kind of divvied away from our question, but I mean, how do you see the offensive line making out this year?
The biggest thing I look at is from a coaching standpoint. We brought over Jake Thornton from Ole Miss, which is a young offensive line coach. And I know we got the transfers like the center from East Carolina, Avery Jones, Dylan Wade from Tulsa, Gunnar Britton, the right tackle from Western Kentucky. But probably I would say from a man for man, just from a physicality standpoint, Jeremiah Wright, left guard, we know what we got with him. But I would say just the fact that our offensive line coach, Jake Thornton, you look at what he did at Ole Miss last year, and especially I can just remember when Auburn played Ole Miss, the run, that scheme and the way the offensive line played under him, them running lanes were massive because he teaches that technique. Instead of you leaning back, you're pushing forward. Instead of you open up the running lanes. I think he's a good coach, and I think just his coaching ability and the talent that we bring in, it's a perfect match. Then to go along with the running backs, it all goes hand in hand.
Right.
And the thing about, even at quarterback, Peyton Thorne, people don't look at him as a mobile quarterback, which he's really not, but he don't let that deceive you.
Ability.
Yeah, just that threat of the plus we're gonna run an RPO offense. It's that threat of that. It's gonna even up. I mean, once you open up the passing game, which we all know they're gonna throw the ball, it's just gonna make them running lanes that much more, open. So I feel good about it. I feel good about the whole offense because, for one, we got a head coach that knows how to develop quarterbacks. That knows he's one of the best play callers in the country, even though he's saying he's getting on play calling, which we know that's probably not. His hands are on it regardless.
Right.
So I feel good about that, and I look at major improvements just from a talent standpoint, scheme standpoint, and coaching standpoint. It all goes hand in hand as far as the offensive line goes.
Yeah. So, excuse me. That's the offense. So let's move on to defense, and really just it's just three different areas on the defense.
Right.
We'll talk about the linebacker position, and the secondary, of course. So just starting out, I have questions about the first two, the front seven, as people will call. In particular, the linebacker position. We don't have a Papo this year. We don't have that standout guy. Now that guy may emerge. You know what I'm saying? Now with the defensive line, I'm hearing some things that we do have some depth, but it hasn't been proven yet. So I think we got a solid front four. But what do we have after that? So that's my question to you. How do you see the linebacker core and the defensive line core? I mean, are we gonna be a 3 and out type of defense? And I don't think so, because I mean, when we get into those LSU's and Georgia's and the Texas A&M's and stuff, we're gonna have to have depth at that D line position, and that's a question that I do have. So we'll just talk about those two positions, those groups of positions.
I don't think, as far as linebacker goes, I don't think we have a superstar, but I think we got some solid players. Austin Keys, the transfer from Ole Miss, Mike linebacker. He's got the size you want, 6'2", 240. He's a downhill linebacker. So I feel good about him. You got Cam Riley, which, he's played a lot of ball. It looks like he started the opposite. He won the starting job opposite of him. After that, I mean, we got Nixon, the transfer from North Texas. We got some depth, but like I said, I don't think as far as them, we don't have a superstar in the bunch, but I think we're solid across there.
Collectively,
I think we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Defensive line, I'm more worried about the ends than the inside guys. The inside guys with Jason Jones, Justin Rogers, I feel good. Marcus Harris, I feel good about them. What you got the transfer, Elijah McAllister on the outside, he's like on defensive end, or Jack linebacker from Vandy. I think he's solid, but to me, one of the biggest keys to the defensive line is I know he's good. How good is the freshman Keldrick Falk going to be? He ended up being a 5-star from Highland Home. I think as the season goes along, as he comes along, and Jalen McLeod, you talked about him earlier, transfer
McLeod,
absolutely. Them two are the key to me. I mean, I think the inside guys are fine. I think they'll be fine, but it's them outside guys.
Yep.
What has been the constant thing that's been negative against us on defense the last couple of years, since probably D4 has been gone. I don't know. I would say D4. I don't know. I would just say getting pressure on the quarterback. We need we haven't had a dominant pass rusher.
Yeah.
So the strength of the defense going into the season for now, we know is the secondary.
It's the secondary.
So can we do enough to make people pass the ball? Because if just like I know the offense pretty much in the first two scrimmages, the offense had their way with the defense as far as running the ball. Is that more the fact that we're that good offensively running the ball now, which I think in a sense we are, or is it that we can't stop the run? I think what you look at a situation like that is somewhere probably in between.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say the biggest key on this defense, which is it's basically a 4-2-5. So what's going to happen if we can't stop the run? That means you want to bring extra bodies to stop the run, guys from the secondary. That's when you get vulnerable there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest key. Can we get pressure on the quarterback without having to bring guys from the secondary? That's going to be the whole key to me.
Right.
And at least a good thing about it, the quarterback we're playing Saturday, he is mobile. I don't think he's that accurate. But can they get pressure on him without having to bring extra bodies? That's the whole key to the defense. I feel good about it. I like Ron Roberts. He's a veteran guy, and I'm not worried about that. I just want to know, do we have the guys up front that can get after the quarterback? That's going to be the key for me.
Yeah, and just moving right along, I mean, you did say the secondary is one of the most exciting parts of our defense. One of the most, I think, is going to be the highlight of our defense. With heading it up, Nehemiah Pritchard.
Oh yeah.
As I believe he'll be a shutdown, one side of the field, guy this year. I'm anxious to see what he's gonna do. So, I mean, I agree with everything that you said about the line and the linebackers.
Right.
But I mean, we'll see, and that's what you want. You want to get pressure with 4 guys or 3 guys, and make the game work for you that way.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens Saturday. At least we'll get a taste of what, because like you said, they got a mobile quarterback, and we're going to see a lot of that this year.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of who we play, you're going to see that type of stuff, and why not go ahead and experience it firsthand. First, right off the bat.
Right.
So we gave y'all what we promised y'all. We kind of ran through the positions pretty quickly.
Right.
Hey, look, like I said, man, we really do appreciate y'all tuning in. Click, like, share, all that stuff. Comment. I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Lulu and my boy Jack. I ran into them since the last show, man. They still giving us shout outs on the show, man. And listen, man, we appreciate y'all. Continue to listen to just 2 average guys just talking about Auburn football. But moving right along, man, week 1 is here.
Oh, yeah, fine,
and so we have UMass as our opener. Let's just hit it. Just give me your thoughts, bro. It's the season. It's in the air, man. You can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
It's there.
We're sitting here on Tuesday night. We got Florida and Utah Thursday night.
Yes.
So, I feel good. I think the biggest thing is that the film is out on UMass now. They actually got a game under the belt.
Yes.
And the one thing I noticed, they're sort of like us in a sense. They rely on a lot of transfers. And you can see the difference from last year to this year in that one game, just what them transfers made.
Right.
I'm not saying that Auburn's in trouble this game, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder than what I originally thought, just because I like what I seen from the quarterback. And it looks like they got a good running back, a couple good receivers. Their defense, to be honest with you, I know their head coach, Don Brown, he's a defensive guy. I really wasn't that impressed with their defense. They gave up 460 yards to New Mexico. That's not good.
No.
So the biggest thing is, I think the biggest challenge this game is that, are we going to cover the point spread, which I don't care nothing about, It's 35 now. So, but the biggest thing is how many stops defensively can we get?
Yeah.
I know we're gonna put some points on them.
Yeah.
I feel good about that. I know we can run on them, but I think this game will be a good game. You know, I know we're gonna see Ashford this game. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
But the thing about Ashford, what I'm thinking is gonna happen. Everybody knows he can run the ball. I think they're gonna work on him passing the ball in this game. That's gonna be and that's gonna be one of the things I'm looking for. But I think you couldn't ask to me. You couldn't ask for a perfect setup for game one for me.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. The biggest thing, no turnovers, execution, and let's play. To me, let's play as many guys as we can. It's gonna be hot, 87 degrees, way over 100 degrees on the field. And main thing, stay healthy, because I got a feeling that week 2 to Cal it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel good about it. How you feeling?
Clean game.
Clean game.
You know, that's always the thing, especially with these type of games. You know,
You got so many new guys.
Games. Yeah.
So many. That's the thing. Can they come together? Talent-wise, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've upgraded the rosters significantly.
Yeah.
But how many games is it going to take for them to? You talking about 4 new stars on offensive line, basically.
Right.
How many? Several new guys up front on defense. Might as well say several new receivers playing. New quarterback.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take him to get that camaraderie down with the receivers?
Right.
It ain't going to just go out there and just happen. You got to go out there and put the time and put the work in.
Yeah.
Get the games on, get the snaps on your belt to make it happen.
Yeah. And when I say clean game, man, I mean the mental aspect of the game. You know, no, like you made mention of no turnovers, no stupid penalties.
Right.
You know, not a whole lot of penalties. I mean,
Right.
you may get drawn offside every now and then or something, but not a lot of mental mistakes, especially with this type of opponent.
Right.
Which don't get me wrong. Now, I'm actually glad that we're facing this opponent.
Yeah.
This is not just
I'd rather play them this week than open up at Cal.
Right.
To me, that's just me.
Right.
Because Cal's sort of like UMass too. They had a top 20 transfer class. I think they was ranked like 16. So I mean, they got transfers too.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I just think, like I said, perfect scenario for game one. Perfect scenario.
Right. And so, man, I'm looking to see a lot of stuff, you know, on offense.
Right.
I don't think, of course, they're not gonna show that full hand or whatever, but we're gonna see some different things, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see 3 running backs in this game.
I'll say 4.
And
I think they'll get the freshmen some help.
You know, Garner may even
could
take a snap or two. Just depends on how.
I know
how
Ashford was kind of banged up a little bit from all the scrimmage work and stuff, but he returned to practice today, and they say it was full go. So it's possible we see 3, at least 2.
Yeah,
at least 2.
Yeah. So I mean, we kind of made our points. I mean, this is one of those games that.
Well, really, it's hard to really say anything about. You can assume all you want until they actually go out there and play this first game.
Right.
We really don't even know how much RPO they're gonna use, how much they're gonna blitz, how much tempo they're gonna. You don't know none of that until you actually see. We won't know what this looks like until they actually go out and play a game. That's what's great about being the first game.
Right.
But you know, I got to do it anyway. With that being said, what would be a reasonable outcome score-wise for you to feel good about it?
For me to feel good,
that
like I said, with an opponent like this, you said the line is what,
35?
And it's a home game.
Oh yeah. If it tells you anything, the line started off around 39.5, 40. But after they played their first game and people seen what they had, it dropped down a little bit. Yeah. Obviously.
Well, and I'll go with the line that they have. Just right off the top of my head, I'm gonna go 52-14. And I'm shooting high, you know what I'm saying? But I think they're gonna toss it around.
Yeah,
I think there's gonna be some. I mean, 400 and some points against 400 and some yards against New Mexico. That already tells
and New Mexico made a lot of mistakes too.
Yeah, and so UMass, you're not facing an opponent like that. So if we even, if we get those type of yards, And I'm actually looking, man. I'm hoping that the defense score a touchdown or something.
Be nice.
It would be nice, but I'm throwing out a 52-14. What's that? 38 points? 38 points, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the line.
Take the line.
I'm gonna take the line. I'm gonna take Auburn, and I'm gonna take the points, man. This time. And I mean, hey, it's the first game. I might as well go and start big.
Man, I'm with you. I like Auburn with the points too. I'm gonna say 49-10.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, I'm skeptical about going over 49 because the one thing I noticed in week 0, these new clock rules, they're trying to shorten the game.
Yeah, they are.
And if you're a running team, that clock don't stop.
Yeah.
Even on an incomplete pass.
Right.
You know, so there's these teams. You'll see a lot of these teams that's overmatched. Shorten the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. I mean, I'm with you. I think they cover, but maybe not scoring over 50.
Well, I got a field goal in there.
Oh
So,
yeah.
you know, and you know, you got them with a touchdown and a field goal.
And I'm thinking they'll get that touchdown against mostly backups.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I say that. I mean, really, it's a guess. We really just don't know.
Well, you know, sometimes Auburn play. It be tripping me out, you know. UMass might come out there and score on their first possession, but then don't score again. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll wake them up or whatever.
Well, you got the biggest thing too that I notice about Freeze teams too over the years. They make their biggest adjustments in the second half, and he'll which I don't know about this game, but overall, a lot of times he won't even show certain formations and stuff till the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that several times when they played Alabama throughout the years. Yeah, but man, I feel good. Other than that, man, that's really it for the Auburn game. But you know, there is some more action week 1.
Oh, there's a lot of action.
And the one game I do want to ask you about before we get off of here, what do you think about Florida State and LSU?
I knew you was gonna ask me that.
Oh yeah, you know I had to.
I think personally, I think that is the 2 most hyped teams
that could disappoint
this season.
Yeah, could.
We're gonna find out a lot about both of them teams.
Right.
Either they gonna be as advertised, or they gonna be garbage.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be one of them seasons that you know you get that team that everybody's got the hype on. I mean, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. This ain't just the homer in me, but LSU got a lot of hype on them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got the talent, man, and I'm not sold just yet on Brian Kelly. I mean, I like the guy as a coach. I've liked him better as an LSU coach than any previous LSU coach. But I'm still not sold on Brian Kelly managing that team the way it's probably that it has the potential to have. So, with that being said, I'm picking it FSU. I'm picking Florida State, and it probably is because I'm a secondary Florida State fan. But but I think what is it 3.5 right now?
I ain't even
LSU. Last time I heard, I think it was a -3. That's probably -3.5.
Yeah, that's probably this is really with this being the first game of the season.
What is it in Orlando? Where's the game?
I'm not even sure.
I think it's in Orlando.
I've been so focused in on Auburn, man. I can't even because I know last year was in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was somewhere over there. But
I'm like, man, this is about what I would say pretty close to a pick 'em. But I'm gonna go with LSU just due to the fact SEC homer.
I got you.
And both quarterbacks, both teams are early Heisman contenders.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels, I mean, was it Jordan Travis?
Yeah,
I mean,
Jordan Travis.
He's tough, man. He's real tough.
That's a dude right there, man. And I just think, I honestly think that Florida State defense is.
They're fast. I didn't know that. They're the closest. Florida State's really. I mean, they're in the ACC. They're an SEC team.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I tell you what I'm gonna do though. I just had something. I gotta change my mind. There's a new guy. There's a young guy. There's a musician I go to church with now, and he's a Florida State fan.
Yeah.
So I gotta do it. I gotta help him out.
You gotta help him out.
So I'm gonna say 31-27 Florida State. He just hit me. I gotta do it for him. I gotta do it for him. Well, with that being said, he's got a brother that's a Tennessee fan, and there's no way I can help him out with that. So he's on his own with that one.
Yeah.
So
Well, man, listen, man. Look, I've enjoyed talking with you.
Man, I just can't. I'm already looking forward to week 2. We'll be able to see what Cal's got.
Yeah.
We'll get to watch them. We'll get to see what we got. Because it's all guesswork now.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's guess. Yeah. The biggest thing I'll say this before we get off here. I mean, I know that I've encountered some Alabama fans. I hate to say it, over the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not happy with Freeze. Because, of course, we took a couple of in-state recruits from already, which is more to come.
Exactly.
But for a lot of these Alabama fans that don't like Freeze, for them not to like Freeze, I get it. But there's a reason why Saban wanted to hire him too, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because he can't coach.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why Saban wanted to hire him too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'll let you close this out.
Well, man, look, listen, y'all. I want to tell everybody, you guys know I'm in the medical field, so please stay safe. COVID is rearing its head again, and we like to leave y'all with positive stuff. As take care of yourselves. Do whatever you have to do to protect yourselves against this thing, and it's still real. So I just do want to give y'all that little nugget of information that this thing is still real. Hey, if you have to wear a mask, whatever, booster up, whatever you got to do, just protect yourselves. But man, hey, I enjoyed this show. Time flies when you're having fun.
Man,
you know what
30
I'm saying?
minutes.
So with that being said, man, we're gonna sign out on episode number 2 of Auburn All the Time, AAT. War Eagle.